week and talk about the Tennessee Tech this week.
Sure. You know, I think there's, as we talked a little bit about this morning on our TV show, I think there's times when an open date may break your stride, or, you know, maybe you're not really wanting to see it, but I don't think it could have came at a better time for us. We were pretty banged up, and I think just mentally tired, like you get, you know, a little bit over halfway through the season. So I think it really could not have came at a better time for us. Really good for us to get able to get out and get recruiting. You know, we finished practice on Wednesday, worked on a couple of opponents, mainly worked on ourselves. Tried to get fundamentally better, some of the things that you kind of let go, you know, getting ready for a game week every week for 7 weeks plus camp. So it really came at a good time. Like I said, we had a really good recruiting week just to get out and get to see, you know, high school coaches, et cetera. So that was good for our staff just to really get out and kind of flood the southeast and get out and check on everybody. Going to this week's game, obviously this is a huge game for us. You know, they've had some struggles recently, but they've been in every game. Really do a good job, both offensively, defensively, and special teams. And you know, I think sometimes people think that's coach talk, but they're a play away here and there, and they've had a few injuries, a few guys banged up. Probably get their quarterback back this week, who did not play last week, and we can touch on all that here in a little while. But tons of respect. You know, this is their homecoming, so they've kind of got their backs to the wall. So it'll be a big game for both teams, obviously.
Bill, how much have you revamped had to revamp your receiver core with Marquise out with his deal and Screws out with his thing and everything that's been going on with that?
Well, you know, probably, you know, you just kind of thank God that we had an open day, you know, to get some guys some reps, specifically even the backups to those guys. You know, you got those backups that step forward, but then you got now guys that were kind of threes that become twos. So if another injury happened, you could be looking at those guys playing a lot. So the one good thing for us, we get tons of reps. Both of our ones and twos really basically rep equally. But I think now we just got to find the things that fit the guys that, you know, are coming in these spots. Obviously, you know, Telvin over here was a guy that was playing more, kind of got banged up a little himself, which allowed Dalton to step up. So you get him back well. So that one kind of works out, and you know, Chambers was hurt at the first year. He's kind of full speed now, but you know, Marquise was just, and Screws, you know, Dalton's playing, so both of them were playing really well. That's what you hate to see. You hate to see any injury, but they were really playing well. So we had to do some work last week.
Have you moved guys, slots, the wall? I mean, that kind of stuff that was maybe technical looking, but have you switch guys?
You'll see some guys in some different spots. You know, basically the same guys that have played. You'll just see some guys getting more work. And like I said, we got a couple of guys that were a little banged up themselves, and now they should be full speed after, you know, a few days off. And hopefully now we've got most everybody else 100%.
And does that include Max?
Max is doing good. He really is. We've been very pleasantly surprised that he's doing what we wanted him to do. You know, should be ready to go today. So we're, you know, got to see him at the end of last week really starting to do some good things and moving around good, and hopefully by the end of the week he'll be 100%.
So your passing game, even though down with the guys that are down, you don't see any either drop off or?
Well, you hope not.
Yeah.
You hope not. I mean, that's kind of one of those we'll see as it goes. But you know, just got some other guys get their opportunity and get to step up, and it's been going pretty well. You know, up till, you know, getting banged up last week a little bit, but I think it's been going well. Hopefully we can keep that. Like I said, we got to get back to some fundamentals last week, and Eli got a lot of good work last week as well, so which is always good for us.
And the other guys you're talking about, Anthony and Callaway, are they the two that you?
Yeah, Anthony gets to step up. He's been playing ever since game one, and Earl is really coming on. You know, he's a guy that's gained probably 15, 20 pounds since he's been here. He was a really good high school player, and in fact Wednesday he had a heck of a day. So just a big body receiver that, you know, it's hard to defend. So I think he'll obviously get a chance to see what he can do as well.
And then who holds with Screws out?
Well, you know, Kyle West will become, you know, a guy that we look at. You know, he's kind of the third guy. Hamish is the guy that even going in, Hamish McKinnis, our punter, was a guy that we even thought about using. He's a really good holder. They work on those things. You know, you got all those specialists together. So don't know yet. We're going to see how this week goes. If it's just on pure holding ability, Hamish is the guy, but, Kyle gives us a lot more opportunity to spin another quarterback, so we'll see how that plays out.
Isn't it like odd, strike you a little bit how all the dominoes fall? I mean, when one thing it impacts this and impacts
That's
that, and
correct.
impacts the other thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing you always worry about as a coach when a guy with multiple responsibilities gets hurt. Once again, that's why I think it's so important to constantly work those twos like they're ones. And, first of the week, every week, we're going to work the two holder and the two kicker on Monday and kind of give the starter, the rest. So Connor Rouleau, we treat him like the starters on Monday. And that's something we spend a lot of time on I say a lot of time on. We spend 5 minutes every day on PAT field goal and try to move it all around and give guys certain situations, run them off the sidelines. And I'm a big believer in making it as game-like as you can for those guys, and the twos are included in that.
What the two players kind of talk a little bit about, I don't have a specific thing, but what was the neatest thing that you did in, I guess, the 3 days? Because I guess once Wednesday got here, they kind of turned you loose for the weekend. Did you do anything that was really neat, out of the ordinary, something you wouldn't do on an open date? Both of y'all guys can talk about that.
Got to go out to my farm and do some work. That's about it.
Like what? I mean, hoeing or moving hay or what?
We planted our deer plots and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully they'll be ready by the time I get to go home again for Christmas or so.
T?
I actually ran a little bit at my high school in the sand pit. I did a little workout that my head coach told me about that helped me build up strength on my ankles because I've been out having problems with those. So I did a little bit of that, and last year this time I didn't do anything in about a week. So I did that, and I ran a couple routes, just did a ball machine, just a little workout, just to help me not get rusty. Cause
How about fun stuff?
Fun stuff?
Y'all don't
That's
work
fun
all
for
the
me,
time.
him doing that.
Fun stuff. I didn't do much. I went to my high school football game. It was homecoming. Of course, after that, went to college and hung out with my buddies playing at West Georgia. So I got to catch up with them a little bit. And that was pretty much it.
What did you do?
Recruited. Saturday was a good day. Saturday I got to watch a lot of college football and really not do a lot. So, it's just, I always enjoy to see other people, how they play and call games, and it's just, it's a good experience for me because it's not technical. Just to really sit back and almost be a fan. I think that's about all we did all day was just watch games. So, it's just the same things we've talked about before, what offenses are doing today, and a lot of upsets, and it was just it was a good day. Good day for everybody, I think, just to get away from each other. I try not to call the coaches on Saturday, let them get away from me a little bit, get rid of, so yesterday we came in and hopefully pretty fresh.
Will you break down these people you're playing for us a little bit?
Yeah, I think starting offensively, I think obviously you've got a head coach who's been an on offensive coordinator, play caller for a number of years, which is obviously that speaks to what you think they're going to be able to do. When the head coach kind of calls the plays, are very involved in the offense, they're going to do a good job. Very impressed with them offensively, as I was in the off season when we started watching them. They're a two quarterback system, kind of like we are. One of them's probably a little bit more of a runner than the other one. Like I said, he got banged up, but I think he'll be back this week. But a lot of zone read, speed option, multiple ways to run the zone read. And then they're going to get the ball out quick out of his hands, bubbles, quick screens, make you cover down those receivers, and then take their shots down the field. Each week they're going to kind of pick some formations I'm sure that they think will give them advantages. Just like everybody, they tempo, they check with me from the sideline. Just do a really good job. I know people think this is, like I said, coach talk, but they have been a play or two away, seems like, every time you turn around. And that's the difference, I think, in our league right now. I think that's probably most of us are all pretty similar. And that's what I've seen out of them offensively. Just do a lot of good things. Defensively, very solid, very sound. They're going to be a 4 down front. They'll also get some 3 down. Very good on the interior. Their defensive line are impressive. Like I said, very sound. Don't make a lot of mistakes, make you work it down the field. I mean, I don't know what EKU was running the ball, but they did a great job shutting their rush down last week. But just a, very well coached defense. I just look at them and see them being in the right spots. And then their kicking game is outstanding. I think their punters, he may be leading all of FBS. I know he's one of the top guys in the country. He's our, all conference selection. So that keeps the field from ever getting flipped when they get stopped. He's keeping people pinned. Good kicker. I don't see any huge advantage for us there, even though I like our specialists in return game. I think they do a really good job. Obviously, I alluded to the fact that it's homecoming for them. So that's going to be a big deal, and I think, people, when they pick you for homecoming, obviously I wasn't here to set up our homecoming, but that should be, you would think that's a big deal to them. They're going to probably have a huge crowd. Their backs are to the wall, just having some losses, so I'm sure they're going to definitely come out and we're going to get their very best.
And from your guys' standpoint, as you look at now, it's kind of neat how your season broke, the first 7, the last 5. What's the focus, drive, emphasis, put this 5-game block together of, what's the deal from here?
It should be our very best. That's the thing we talked about before we left. What can you not do for 5 weeks? And our guys have really tried to do everything we've asked. I've been very pleased with them. I don't know, we didn't have a great practice Tuesday, wasn't the worst. And then we came back Wednesday with one of our better days. And we had a bunch of guys that were bunged up, and we were holding some guys. And still probably was one of our best coaching days and practicing days. And that's what it should be. It should be, and that's what I'm going to say in the team meeting today. Okay, it's 5 weeks. No, it's a week. No, it's today. It should be our very best day today, tomorrow, Wednesday. And that's what we expect all the time. But I think when you see that light at the end of the tunnel of hey, we're going to win out, but we got to focus, just not forget winning out. We got to focus on winning this game. And I think we've seen that in our league, that it's that competitive. It's that close. It's one thing here, there. It's a pass. It's a turnover. It's what's it going to come down to? So we've got to try and do everything right.
Playoffs still in the mix? You guys talking about that kind of stuff?
Really, I just, the big thing I talk to our guys about is, hey, let's just focus on each game. Every game we've tried to treat like a playoff. I have not seen anybody mentally doing anything here or there, that's different each week. I thought we circled the wagons real well 2 weeks ago. I thought probably from a physical standpoint, not knocking our guys last week was, probably the most physically impressive team in our league by far. And that's what I saw. But other than that, I hadn't seen any change in our guys. Other than having a few guys banged up here and there, and you have to adjust.